So my name's Liz Elam and I'm Principal at Abbey College, Manchester. Thank you for joining us today to look at and explore the sporting opportunities that we have at the college. So let's have a little brief introduction to the college overall. Some of you may be familiar with Abbey College Manchester, some of you may not. So I'm going to just spend a few minutes running through some of the sort of key features of the college. Now, we are a small familial college. We have around 200 students. And when I interview students and I talk to them, I say to them, you're going to join our Abbey family. You're not going to be lost in the crowd. We're going to be looking after you while you're away from home, and we're going to know you, and we're going to make sure that you feel settled and happy in Manchester. And along with that, we have very small class sizes with individual care. So a maximum class size of 12, which we believe has an exceptionally good impact on students in terms of their confidence and so on. Now, our college itself has got a very wide mix of students. So we have students from the UK comprising around 40% of the student population. And then the other 60% of the students are from 35 nationalities at the moment, sometimes more. So no single nationality dominates. Obviously, the UK students are the largest group, but it is a truly global college, and it makes a fantastic place to work, to learn, to get a stepping stone to university, and indeed for the skills in life of mixing with people from around the world.
I'm Mick Brennan. I'm the director of the Football Academy from IHM, and thank you to everybody at Abbey for welcoming along to this and everybody attending. I'm going to tell you a little bit now about the Football Academy with Abbey College. And as you can see on that slide there, we launched this in 2018. So going into next season, we're going into our fourth year. This year's been a tremendously successful year. We had up to 28 players on the programme from Abbey College who were studying in the morning and then training with us in the afternoon. Various different numbers of days that they were training with us. So it's been tremendously successful. And being in Manchester, in the centre of Manchester with the college, and where we do the training in the centre of Manchester, which I'll tell you about a little bit in a moment, is we are in the heart of English football. We are in the home of English football, especially now. Manchester City have just clinched the title. Manchester United are hot on the heels in second place, but it's no two clubs within Manchester and around the area. There are hundreds of clubs, not only in the Football League, but the semi-professional clubs. So we are in a hub of football. But what do the students get on the Football Academy? Well, they get professional coaching by UEFA qualified coaches and strength and conditioning and fitness. And our coaches aren't only coaching for us on the programme, they also either coach with professional clubs. One of them coaches with Everton Football Club as well. Or still play. So David, who you can see just behind there in the picture, David Raven, is an ex Liverpool player. He holds a Champions League medal. Not many of us can say that. But he's also still playing. He's playing semi-professional for Marine, and they were in the spotlight this year, playing in the FA Cup. They played against Tottenham Hotspur, and David there was playing at centre half and was marking Harry Kane and these type of players in there. So they have the experience not only for the coaching but in the game as well. All the players will get evaluation and progress reports, and they're very simple reports that give a lot of information for the players, and we rate the players as they go through, and they get them each term so they can look at their progress out there on the pitch. We have competitive match play. So the boys today are going out and they are playing iSports, an academy close by to us. They played FC United, one of the spin-off clubs from Manchester United, earlier in this week, and actually beat them. So we get competitive match plays we go through. We work with each individual player to give them advice and guidance within the professional game. And that's progressing in football. That might be playing, and that might be off the pitch and working in the game or in sport. And we give plenty of opportunities. I'm going to talk a little bit about the opportunities further on in the slide. All the players come kitted out. So they all get kitted out. And you'll see in some of these slides in the red and black kit. So they've got that identity. They belong to the academy. They belong to the team. It also gives them a sense of responsibility of making sure they're in the right kit, got the right equipment. But our approach to everything is this player-centered approach. We look at the individual player. As Jamie was saying earlier on, we are dedicated to developing that player, not only as a footballer, but as a person, and looking at how we can do that. Moving on, when we're sort of looking at the actual coaching and what they actually do. So the coaching takes place on a 4G pitch, so we can play all the time, whatever the weather. We are in Manchester, the rainy city. Training is never called off because of the weather, because we're on the state-of-the-art 4G AstroTurf. And we provide transport to and from there from the city centre college. It's only a few minutes up. And recently, the company that we deal with, Sport, has been providing us with the Burnley Football Club team bus. So they've been travelling in style recently. As I say, we focus on the potential of every single individual player. So whilst we are looking at them as a team, and they love to go out and win like they did on Monday, what we're looking at is when the players come into us, what level are they at, and can we get them, and we can get them to reach their highest potential, whether that be going on to playing professionally somewhere in the world. It might just be going back home to play at a higher level. It might just be learning the game, but making sure that we can get them to their potential. We do testing, we do target setting, reviews, constantly doing one-on-ones with the players to help them progress on. And those keen players will come to us and they will ask, and we will work with them. Throughout the program, we have guest sessions, guest speakers. So they don't always just want to listen to us and the coaches on a daily basis. They want expertise from the game. So we have guest sessions that come in. We've been able recently, working online as we've had to get some really good guest coaches and guest speakers to come online. So recently, we've had the Blackburn Rovers first team coach has come on and talked not about his coaching, but about his analysis. And he brought his head analysis chap onto there to talk about how they look at analysing the visiting team and things, some insightful stuff. We've had in the past, we've had Darren Fletcher, who's now Manchester United's first team coach. He's come in and done a session with the boys, and he's then done a Q&A with them after that. We've also had ex-Liverpool player talking about resilience. He's come online and talking about his career, Neil Mellor, how he had to work through adversity and his resilience working through the game. So it gives the players a really good insight. We have, in our match play, we are playing at different levels of teams all the time so that we can expose the players to all sorts of different levels. So we play academies, we play private academies, we play pro clubs, we play college teams, and it gives them a real good basis to play at. Now, we talked about opportunities for the players, and that's what they're looking at. So one of the major things that we've just introduced this current year is the player panel. And we recognise for our students that come from all over the world, to progress on in the game at any level here in the UK can be very difficult for a number of different reasons. Not only the competition for them places, but also sometimes visa status, sometimes the laws within the game, the restrictions within the game, either here in the UK or within other countries. So we've set up this player panel, and every player that comes on the programme for whatever length of time they come on, get the opportunity to go into that player panel, but it's putting a little bit of onus on the players to have that will and that desire and that ambition to want to progress on. And they can put in their online profile, which we can assist them. They have to demonstrate correct mental attitude and display good character on the programme, engage in everything, not only out on the pitch and the classroom activities, demonstrate how good they are out on the pitch, and they can go into that player panel. And then our coaches and management team will look at those players that can impress and that we feel we can push on, and we can then recommend them for trials in Spain, in Portugal, or in the UK, depending on visa status, and we can try and help them to progress on. Alongside that, we also do showcase events where we will play for a full day, or we will do coaches and some set things for a full day, and we'll invite teams and scouts and clubs and representatives to come and just watch the players. And we give the players guidance on football and sports related careers via further education via higher education pathways and universities and what they can do, because sport in the UK is a massive industry, and we preach to the players about this, that it's not just about playing. When you're looking at big football clubs like your Manchester United, your Manchester Cities, they're big businesses, and they have opportunities. If you understand, if you have a passion for the game, you understand the game, they have so many opportunities to have a career in sport and in the game that aren't playing. And it might be in the physio side of things, it might be in the marketing, it might be in the business side of things. And having that understanding of playing and working with teams can really give you a good step on in that ladder. We give absolute honest feedback. Okay, we manage the expectations of the player, so we make sure that they know at all times where they're playing at, what level they're at, and what their expectations can be for progressing on. And then we've also got a route into the US scholarship scheme via our partner Soccer Assist. So all the players get the opportunity to look at that and whether they can go on to the US for their further education and to play at a really good level out there in the US. Now, I think from the football point of view, we're going to have a little look here at what some of the players, and these are current players, these are players that are with us, students and players that are with us right now on the programme, think about their experience here.
Okay, so we've got Sangmin here from South Korea. He's on our football course. So Sangmin, can you first tell us a little bit about the standard of the coaching that you've had on the football course?
I came to Manchester 2 years ago, and I started football training with Abbey College and IHM Manchester. And there were basically two main coaches, Matt and Dave, and both of them coached me to develop my football skills and how to cooperate with my teammates, and how to be mature as a adult.
Okay, now you've trained twice a week, don't you? So can you tell us a little bit about why you chose to do 2 days a week of training and how that balances with your academic?
Last year I did five days in a week. However, for this year I'm doing A-level. I thought I need more time to study and to prepare for my exams in A-levels. That's why I chose 2 days in a week. And also choosing 2 days in a week makes me to organize my time and how to improve in both football and also in my education.
How's the course helped you to develop yourself personally and to develop your football skills?
Football training makes me makes me a lot of friends in the college, and also to enjoy the English football. Normally I played with my Korean friends in South Korea, but from here I noticed that playing with international students makes me more enjoyable and more energetic throughout the year.
Okay, and what are your plans after you finish at Abbey College?
I'm planning to go to the university in London, and I'll try to be in the football squad and the university as well. And because throughout the football training, I know how to make friends by playing football together. And after that, in university as well, I'll make more friends and I'll have a happy time there.
Okay, so we've got Said and Con here, who are from Uzbekistan. Said, you train 5 days a week at the moment.
Right, yes.
How do you balance your time between the college and football?
I'm trying to focus on both to do my best at studies and football at the same time. However, sometimes I even manage to do some extra work for football and extra work for studies. So I think my time for studies and football is balanced very well. So normally I have a training after the college. So after the training, I have free time. I can either study or do some football training, go to the gym, whatever I want. So normally it's very good balanced.
Cool, thank you. Colin, how have you developed as a person during your time at Abbey College?
When I came here to UTA, I was 14 and my level of confidence was very low. So as I came here first, I started to speak to people much more than I did before. So my level of confidence speaking English and speaking to people got higher. Also, I developed my responsibilities of doing, like getting ready for going to college or to football trainings and everything. I got my skills developed a lot.
And Syed, how have your footballing skills developed since being here?
Obviously, as everyone knows, English football is very high intense, very physical. So even though I had quite good technical attributes when I arrived, after my arrival in UK, I realized that I need to work much harder on my physical attributes and my stamina and stuff like that. So I started improving very quickly. And it took me about 2 months to get to the senior squad. So after getting there, I kept working very hard, and at the moment, I think I'm in quite a good shape, both physically and technically. So I believe English football has had quite a good impact on my physical attributes.
Okay. Colin, what are your plans after you finish at the end of this year?
This year I finished my GCSE courses, so I'm planning to go ahead with my A-levels next year. And
okay, and after your A-levels?
After my A-levels, of course I'll try to go pro in football, but if it doesn't work, I'll try to go to university and I'll try to go on business degree in university.
Okay. Last question, Syed. What's your favourite thing about being in Manchester?
I think mostly what I liked in Manchester is how people are keen to help you. They're always open, and you can always receive the feedback you want from coaches, for example, or from the teachers, or whenever you have any troubles which you can solve on your own, you can always ask for help, anyone here, and that would definitely make your life easier. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks very much. Okay, so we've got Theo here from Israel. Theo, just first of all, could you tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the standard of the coaching at International House?
So I moved here like this September. Like I enjoyed. There are a lot of amazing people here, coaches, staff, and also like my teammates. I enjoy the practices. The quality of the practices are very good. Like there are a lot of good exercises. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel the football course has developed you as a person, and the support you've received from your coaches and staff?
I believe that I became more mature and got more responsible for the stuff I do. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And how have your skills developed since joining the course?
I believe that I became much better than 1 year ago because we have amazing coaches that like I enjoy working with them. They're professionals, so I like it.
That's there are 4 players, students that are currently with us, and it's great to sort of hear what they say, not only about how they progress on the pitch, but also the off the pitch and the maturity and the organisation and the confidence. So we've got a couple of success stories here. So Rashik here, and this is an academic success. Rashik was on the programme for 2 years with us, but also studying, and he's progressed on to University of Manchester, studying chemical engineering. And his thought, it was about his confidence, not only on the pitch, but off the pitch, and how he could manage that time of studying and also training, and how that helped him with his organisation side of things. And moving on, our next one, Mukhtar, he's managed to progress on to the University of Nottingham doing civil engineering. But again, he was on the programme, and when he came on the programme, he was somewhat apprehensive, a little bit shy and quiet, but he developed so much confidence with his communication skills and making friends on the pitch just from the sport. So that's the power of what the sport can do alongside the academic side of things. Now, moving on, I'm going to talk to you about the International Foundation Programme, the IFP in Sport, our new programme that that Liz mentioned earlier on. And I'm delighted that we've been able to develop this with Abbey College, so it's an international house, and I've managed to be part of writing this programme, so we can bring the academic side of the sport to the college as well as the practical side, being out on the pitch. And this is delivered by our coaches, by the football coaches, who have all been through their own academic experience, going through universities, going through college and studying, but also the skills actually either playing or coaching professionally. So this is a designated sports programme allowing students to develop that theory side and a qualification related to their sport and to progress onto university. It can be done as a standalone sport only course, and it can be done in combination with all of those IFPs that Liz listed early on, and we'll talk about the ways that can be done. It's linked to on the pitch, and that's the beauty of the coaches working there in the classroom with them. The students can link what they're doing in the classroom to what they're doing out on the pitch. And as Liz said earlier, there's so much flexibility depending on their age and previous study, from a 2-year, 18-month or a 1-year study on this programme. So what does it actually include? What's in the unit? So we've got 2 strands of this, Sport 1 and Sport 2. And mainly the students are looking at combining with another subject, whether it be a biology or a business or something such as that. They would take the Sport 1 plus another. If they're looking at it being solely sport, which they can do, they take Sport 1 and Sport 2. And there you can see the units and how it really does link in to what they do out there on the pitch. So we're looking at performance analysis. So we're looking at the theory behind that and the techniques and the ways of doing that. And the students get to analyse performances. They get to look at different performances and analyse themselves and others, and they can link that to their play out on the pitch. We look at the human body and how that affects their sport, and we look at things such as the cardiovascular system, the bones, the muscles, the energy systems, the respiratory systems, and how all of that works and how that can enhance their sport if they take care of it, if they understand that a little bit more. And the professional athletes side of things is looking at how there are different levels within sport, whatever sport that may be that they are interested in. The majority at the moment are on football or on basketball. And that's currently delivered by David, who's one of our ex-professional players who works there. So he has that insight into the professional athletes and how they have to train and how they have to work. When we look at Sport 2, they're looking at fitness and how they can enhance their game, but what all the components of fitness are so they can understand that. And then we lead into the practical side of things, which gives another avenue for their progression into maybe coaching or maybe working on analysis or working on different things. And that also gives other skills such as leadership and maturity, where they're leading groups and they're working with their peers on coaching. And then finally, in unit 3 of Sport 2, we look at sport as vehicle for change. So the political side of things. A lot of our coaches, most of our coaches have worked in what we call community programs here in the UK, which are attached to professional clubs. And that's part of a program that go into the community to look at disability coaching within the community, or how they can influence the different backgrounds of people, how sport itself can help to enhance the community. So that's the 2 strands that they can do, and it really gives a good theoretical side of things, and some of those are practical to what they do out there on the pitch. And the assessments are throughout the year. A lot of that is done by assignments. There are some exams through, but a lot of it's done by assignments to help the students go through. So what can they progress from the sports IFP? Well, as Liz was saying earlier, we can combine that with different subjects. So they can look at progressing on to the business management and sports management side of things. They can look at the sports studies. They can look at the coaching and performance if they're just looking at the standalone sports programs. We've had this program already agreed with some of the universities, some of the top sports universities here, who've approved the course for progression into there. So UCLan is one of those who've looked at it very closely, who've got a great sporting department here in the UK, looked at it very closely and accepted it for all of their sports courses. So it is a great route for the students to progress on. So looking at what the students say, like we said, we've started this program in January this year, and we've got some students on here. And this is two of the students that are currently with us that have made comments on the program. And I've had the honour of actually working with both of these students. So Kieran, the first student there, says about class sizes and how it links across to what he does out on the pitch and the access and that. And I know that Kieran, earlier on with his studies, before he came on this program in January, well, he actually started a little bit later than January, he was struggling with that connection of having his sport and having his studies. And now it really links across, and he's really liking the fact and really engaging in his links across from what he's doing out on the pitch. And Nairam, I had the honour of actually teaching him during the lockdown. We did some of the remote lessons and I was teaching him on the human body module. And he's really engaged in it, and he understands that, yes, he wants to go and play, but there's a big range of things that he can do within the sporting industry, and that this will help him to progress on to university to be able to do that, or into roles within sport.
Now, the International Foundation Programme is very popular, and this programme can be taken over 2 years, 18 months or 1 year. Students coming for 2 years might choose it because their English is not quite as strong, and also they may have slightly lower academic studies at GCSE or their high school equivalent. So a 2-year programme helps develop all those skills they need where they go into the main programme in the second year. Some students do A-level in the first year and then switch to International Foundation in the second year. And some students who've already done level 3 study in their own country or elsewhere come for the 1-year programme. Now, we have a huge range of pathways and we're very flexible, but just to give an idea on the list here: business economics, creative arts, engineering, environmental science, humanities, medicine, psychology, science, and sport, which we'll talk about later because that's obviously linked to this webinar, but that's our new IFP programme. So the next thing to talk about is progression. So you've done your A-levels, you've done your International Foundation programme. Where are you going to go to universities? Well, as I said before, if you're studying A-level, you can apply to any university, either in the UK or abroad. If you study IFP, you can go to almost all universities in the UK, apart from Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, who won't accept that qualification. You can progress to some universities abroad, but again, that'll be on an individual basis. However, in terms of partnership agreements, you can see the list here, very impressive list of universities who we have specific agreements with. So Aston and Brunel, for example, for IFP and particularly for our medicine pathway. Same with Buckingham. We've got Bradford, Bristol, Dundee, Keele, Lancaster, Leeds, Loughborough, Newcastle, Plymouth, the list goes on. And as you can see here, they are a wide range of universities, but not only do they accept our programs, they come and talk to our students, they give them individual advice and support, and often quite interesting lectures, sample lessons, and so on, which is a really good experience for the students. As I said before, IFP students, however, will go on to a large range of Russell Group universities. So you've got there Bath, Birmingham, Durham, King's College, Manchester, Nottingham, Queen Mary, Sheffield, York, to name a few. So as you can see, very versatile programme from the IFP.